Bro, there is no way.
No way, boy.
There is no way this is happening right now. I don't know about you guys, but all I've been seeing about Donovan Mitchell these past few weeks is how the Knicks are in serious trade talks with them, and RJ Barrett was on the table, some of these other players. But Woj dropped an absolute bomb, which leaves Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland. I gotta say, I did not see this coming, but I understand this move for both teams, right? So here's the full trade details. Utah's trading Donovan Mitchell to Cleveland for Lauri Markkanen, Ochai Agbaji. My fault for mispronouncing that, but I think he's a draft pick this year. And Colin Sexton, who wasn't fit in anyways and was obviously out for last year. And as well as 3 unprotected first round picks and 2 pick swaps. So what does this mean for both teams? Well, I'm about to tell you. But quick, before I get into this video, I just want to let you guys know the support was absolutely unreal last video. You guys went crazy on it, and I just want to say to you, I really do appreciate it, and I will keep pumping out videos just because you guys are liking these ones so much. But if you're new, guys, I would appreciate it if you like and subscribe. But other than that, bro, let's get into this trade because this is big. This first leaves Cleveland with one of the most deadly starting fives in the league right now, with Darius Garland at point guard, now Donovan Mitchell shooting guard. And I don't know exactly what they will do with the rest of the lineup, but they did play Mobley at the 3, so I'm assuming they'll do that. Maybe Kevin Love at the 4, and obviously Jarrett Allen at the 5. Mr. Toilet Bowl himself.
Oh, Jarrett Allen fouled on the play by Austin Rivers, rolling down. Jarrett Allen.
This is a heck of a lineup with 3 to 4 potential all-stars. You could really say anyone in that lineup can be an all-star under the right circumstances, but this team is legit. They were legit before. They were 3rd in the East for quite a while last year, but now I think Donovan Mitchell is capable of giving this team the star power to excel pretty far in the playoffs, as well with a runner-up for Rookie of the Year being Evan Mobley. He's only going to get better, and not to mention their 2 all-stars from last year, Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen, which we will get into more later. But let's talk about what Utah receives in this trade. They get a guy in Colin Sexton, and when he was last seen healthy, he was averaging 24.5 points in 60 games, which is ridiculous. Not only for his age, but the team he was on too. They had some valuable pieces around, obviously not the best, but there are some people that could have put numbers on that team in that year. And they also get a guy in Lauri Markkanen, which is a quality starter, has been averaging around 15 points his career, a stretch 4 like Kevin Love. And they get the 14th overall pick this year, Ochai Agbaji. I can't pronounce his name, I'm sorry. And as well as 5 picks. So Utah gets a big haul for Donovan Mitchell. This is in no way a steal. But looking back at it, I didn't even realize this to begin with, but Donovan Mitchell and Colin Sexton are pretty much the exact same player, except for Donovan Mitchell having a little bit more of that star power, and I guess you could say he averages more points as the first option. But Colin Sexton is no pushover, and you can even say he has the potential to be very close to Donovan Mitchell, but we don't know yet. And you add the fact that you're getting another quality starter in Lauri Markkanen and the 14th overall pick in this year's draft, and you have 5 draft picks at your disposal and the draft capital you got for Rudy Gobert. So Utah is very secure for the future, and they have a lot of assets that they could use, and as well be somewhat of a competitive team. Like, this team ain't bad at all. But we're here to talk about on what this trade means for Cleveland and the rest of the NBA, specifically the East, because this team can do a lot of damage in the playoffs as currently constructed. Like, guys, I had to put my Brooklyn and Boston series video on hold. I apologize for that, but you guys know how crazy this is. We've been waiting on Donovan Mitchell to be traded for quite some time now, and I do believe it changes the whole landscape of the NBA. Just because how young Cleveland is too. A lot of these players don't have much playoff experience, but they do got some in Kevin Love, Ricky Rubio, and Rajon Rondo. But I should have mentioned this before. These guys somehow managed to keep Caris LeVert, which made me forget how deep this team was. They gave away 2 starters and still have all this depth. Obviously not as much as before, but this team has 7 to 8 players when you look at them and be like, oh, they can all play in the playoffs, and the majority of them can start on different NBA teams as well. But let's get into one of the main issues I've seen. I should have got into this earlier, but I'm just going through the team now, so this is how it ended up. They do have a really small backcourt with Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell being both 6'1". We've seen that hasn't worked out too well with very small backcourts and limited defense, such as CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard, even as well as Kyrie Irving and Seth Curry, which we've seen recently that didn't work out too well against Boston with all their wins. However, this team is a bit different the way they play. They typically run 3 centers at one time. It used to be Mobley, Markkanen, and Jared Allen, but you could easily replace Kevin Love in for Markkanen as well. And if they don't run one of those centers at small forward, they still have 2 kind of taller-ish wings in Cedi Osman and LeVert that are very athletic and do get rebounds, so it can maybe exempt some of the smaller issues they have in the backcourt. But the point is, this team has most of the things you look for in playoff success. They have size, maybe not in all areas, but they have decent size, pretty good shooting, and guard play, which they have a very lethal backcourt in a scoring guard in Donovan Mitchell and a playmaking / scoring guard in Darius Garland. They have some tallerish wings and really big centers that grab a lot of rebounds and can even put the ball on the floor. Like you saw Markkanen last year, but they don't have him anymore. But I think Mobley is going to take over that role a lot and going to play around 35 minutes a game. So given all these points, and even though if they do bench Caris LeVert, he is definitely a candidate for 6th man of the year like Miami did with Tyler Hero. But like I said in the last video with Brooklyn, I can't speculate too much because we obviously haven't seen them play. They are replacing 2 starters, Cleveland, but I think they will only get better and mature. Like Mobley and Garland aren't going to get any younger, right? So this team does have a legit case for being one of the top teams in the East. I think personally they're going to be top 4, obviously behind the lines of Brooklyn, Boston, and Milwaukee. But the East is so tough, man. You still have teams like Philly, Toronto, Miami, and Atlanta with their new pickups. Like the top 8 may be decided, but that top 5 is just so tough to call, man. It is going to be so close. I am so excited to see all this next year, but this definitely was some big news. It's very nice to see. I think Cleveland was a way better destination for Donovan Mitchell than New York, but only time will tell, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am so excited, like I said, for next year. I will be making more of these before the season, hopefully, so just let me know in the comments what you think. But that's all for me, guys, and peace.